Welcome to another video of Lord PeteyTV Plays. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through a couple of dungeons here, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about what we do in certain situations and how we kind of fix them and went through it, how the bosses are dealt with, and so on and so forth. We're going to be dealing with multiple different classes. I would say it's going to be up to 5 or 6 different classes, but as of right now, we're prioritizing Druid and Monk. Or I should say Balanced Druid and Brewmaster Monk. So please check us out. We're going to be doing a lot of other keys for other classes too. So we'll see you all soon.
I'll be honest, I don't even know what you're talking about.
So we're into week 7 right now of Dragonflight, and this is a couple of our runs we did. I'm going to be ending up giving you keys on the Druid, on Monk, on the Priest, and kind of just what we ended up doing throughout the whole entire time.
They were supposed to be going for vacation in a week. Guess where they're not going now.
Bosses and so on and so forth, and situations that we had. So
that's what I said. My mom is
in.
testing negative right now. So I said,
this is a 4-5 week, which makes it a little bit more interesting than normal for when we're ending up pulling stuff. And the reason why is because when it is a 4 to 5 week, we end up having to do
I went and bought a kit today. It was $20.
Amount of AoE damage from from the mobs that we're going through. So throughout this whole entire time, we're using our cooldowns pretty much every single time we have a second to use them. We try to end up pulling decent pack sizes. Now, it is Afflicted and also Raging this week, which means we really have to be careful when we end up pulling in certain ways, because we really don't want to overpull, because we're going to end up having problems with the Raging because we can't interrupt anything.
I've always been a rat sometimes.
But other than that, we kind of just
as
much as we possibly could as we were DPSing these mobs, and everything worked out pretty well when we're going through, and we ended up, pretty much covering each other. For instance, me having to, heal the crushing depths and so on and so forth.
Really?
Are you looking to support the channel? Please make sure you go to our merch store. The link is in the comments below. We have mugs, shirts, lots of cool things that we will love you to purchase and be wearing and supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate it, and thank you so much.
I mean, I'm down. I haven't used any social alignment. I fully agree with those decisions. I mean, no. I mean, you could probably pull even the dragons right now, running back and forth. I'm down. You were saying you only have to use your Valkyrie button once? Bubble! I got him. Yeah, it's kind of sad that they're not going to be able to position. Yeah, a given. Yeah, I did the wrong one. Not the wrong one.
Make sure you end up checking out our other channels. We have a sister channel called Gaming Fire with Lord PeteyTV, which we end up giving you some specific gaming news that is popping up here and there throughout the whole entire week. And then make sure you're also checking out our Stories with Lord PeteyTV, where we end up giving you little short stories that he's handwritten throughout the whole entire week, which we think you'll greatly appreciate. Thank you so much, and check those out. And hit the subscribe button here when you are ready. Now, the hardest part about the first boss isn't actually dealing with the boss itself. The boss itself is actually pretty easy, and especially on a 4 to 5 week where we can end up just throwing damage out left and right. And this is an 18, so this isn't nearly as hard as what we were expecting. We kind of just pushed as hard as we could with our damage, and we just kind of went for it, just ending up DPSing as hard as we can on the boss, using our cooldowns right then and there. Once the ads come down, we end up using our cooldowns there, trying to burn them down as quick as possible, kind of holding them all together. So all in all, the AoE portion of this dungeon for the boss really isn't too difficult, but we ended up pushing through and getting them taken care of. Now, the second boss is actually a little bit harder than the first boss, in my personal opinion, and that's because he just has that knockback that you have to be really careful about. Now, a lot of the times, what we end up doing is a lot of people end up pulling both sides of the I would say the boss room, if you will, but we ended up not doing that. We ended up actually, I'm not sure. I think we did actually with this time, but we ended up kind of just pushing through. We ended up DPSing. We ended up trying to place the puddles behind the boss. We ended up moving forward. I tried to take care of as many afflicted as possible. I tried to end up holding the mobs in place also with some really, really well placed sunfires, and we kind of just DPS as much as we possibly could. And with some luck, we burned through the boss really simple, really easy and quick, and had no issues. You have to do a big move, unfortunately, because of me. So me and the guys that are going to PAX, right, we're all on this like huge text chain. Like every single day, it's like a message just like, guys, 79 more days. Hey guys, 68 more days. Like all of them.
Super excited.
All of them are. But I think it's because they have never been. Whereas I have been there every year for the past like 5 years.
Now I have a buff called Visions of Beyond.
What does it say?
Gonna kill you?
It would not shock me if they gave you a buff that's like, gonna kill you when it did spells or something. Let's see here. Upon taking magical damage, heal for 1% of your total health. Hey, I wasn't watching. This effect cannot occur. Where's it keep moving to? This effect cannot occur more than once every 30 seconds. Damage taken by aberration increased by 5%. There we go. I like blasting. So now I do, bullshit. Water blocking again? No, he got zapped. Always.
This hallway is actually a little bit of a vicious hallway if you're actually not doing it together, meaning you have to have the whole group go at the same time. That way, not everyone is just single targeted down. Once one person is single targeted down, it causes a lot of problems. Also, you have to move very, very quickly while you're moving around these ads and the mobs. Now, when we pulled this group, we pulled the Seers and we ended up pulling the other two big guys. This is very, very hard to do on keys 20 and higher, but in 18s, it really isn't too bad. So we ended up doing that just for speed purposes. And, we ended up just DPSing the Watcher as we're going, pull the next group, we go from there, DPS those guys down, and then we pull the last two groups together to get to the boss. Not too bad, kind of smooth and easy, no issues really. So how do you keep yourself hydrated over those long gaming sessions? Here at Lord PeteyTV, we end up using Rogue energy drinks. That is what we use here. We end up drinking those throughout the whole entire session. Please make sure you go there and use Lord PeteyTV at checkout when you end up purchasing some of those amazing drinks. We end up pulling the Mindbender boss. The hardest part about that is that you have to really, really focus up on the totems when they spawn. The totems are the hardest part of this boss, and the reason for that is because of the ads. If the ads, I'm sorry, not the ads, I'm sorry, because of the double hit to the tank. The double hit to the tank is what's going to end up causing you to wipe and go death really, really quickly. You have to be really, really careful of that. We ended up, keeping an eye for the afflicted as we're going, and we ended up just like DPSing as hard as we could, just rotating trinkets and just going for it. He died pretty quick because, once again, fortified week. But, overall, this guy is really not that difficult during this kind of a week. Single day to a homeless shelter. How about that? Do you see that?
Super glad about it. Great.
But you don't get any.
But do you think half those those streamers who are doing it are?
No! Hell no! And Trouble making me laugh. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard, Trouble. Me leaving my house. Oh my god, we got lucky.
4,
Right?
3, 2, 1.
Oh my god, I thought you were getting feared.
I have mom.
Thought you were getting feared.
I have grown too weak to be of any existence.
4, 3, 2,
Stick it out. Stick
1.
It out. I lied.
I was going to, but I was like, eh. When you end up getting to the first pull of the other side of this room, you have to be very, very careful because they will start one-shotting people in 4 weeks. And the reason why I'm saying that is because all the hunters and aqua mages and all them will single target somebody. So you have to really, really try to CC them as much as you possibly can. In saying that, it is very hard to deal with when they get on to their lower health pool because they do get raging. So you have to be very, very careful. You have to burn them down super quickly and continue forward. Thankfully, we were able to burn down these mobs very, very quickly, but overall, we have a lot of problems with dealing with the swells from the sentries, so you have to kind of work through them nice and smooth and easily, but you have to really, really be careful, because when those swells come, you have to use a defensive and go through. Sometimes people even use Lust to kind of go through when things start getting questionable. That's something that we ended up doing, but you just got to be really, really careful as you're going through. And at the end, you have to make sure when you're pulling the last couple of groups of the Aqua Mages, you can kind of do the same thing. You kind of DPS, CC them as much as you possibly can, and go through. And the same thing with the end group. The 2 end group, you kind of want to get as close to the mobs themselves. Only, I should say, the sentries, because then you won't get the corrupteds kind of following up on your butt.
I'm just one. Trying. I thought Scott said he was going to take him on, but clearly he's not. Where everyone loses their keys. This stupid damn hallway. Did anybody else go to watch the ball drop? Or did they just get into bed at like 5 o'clock? I want to go to bed. My wife told me no, I had to stay up. And I said I'm going to bed right afterwards. I was playing with Legos until like 12:34. Alright, we'll lose the 2 though. I had it once when I ran in and we all got one shot with like 18 seconds. As you should.
As always, just wanted to make sure you know we partner with Sub2R for our gamer glasses, our green screens, our camera mounts, our cameras, all of those enjoyable objects that we end up using while streaming for our long gaming sessions to help increase our quality of our streams. So make sure you use Lord PeteyTV at sub2r.com when you end up going there and purchasing some of this amazing gear. I've spoken about this boss multiple times, but, you know, as always, I kind of feel that we have to go over it once again. This boss, you have to make sure you end up putting the puddles close to the boss. When you're ending up DPSing, you're going to end up DPSing, and when you get the cleansing flux, you stand in those puddles to get rid of them. When the ads come and pop out, you got to make sure you interrupt a couple, and you end up having the rest of them get together. You end up CCing them in one spot, you end up killing them. The 3 small ones are the only ones that are going to drop the puddle, so you got to be really, really careful of that. Also, be careful of the blotting barrages still. Those are going to still be spawning. When all that comes said and down, make sure you're clearing that up as much as you possibly can, because if you don't, you're going to have lots and lots of issues. So continue to go through that, and you'll have this boss down in no time. And then when the second part comes, when you get that other ads up, he's a joke, and it's not even really a discussion. I don't even know why it's still a part of this fight anymore.
Nice. I'll have you know I made my own server specifically to have those like sound bites.
You don't need to. You could have just told me. I have so many unlocks that I haven't even touched. Thank you so much for taking your time out and checking out the amazing videos that we are ending up producing here. Now, just a reminder, we end up putting videos out throughout the whole entire week involving our Mistweaver Monk, our Brewmaster Monk, our Boomkin Druid, our Guardian Druid, our Combat Rogue, and many other classes throughout the whole entire week. But please make sure you come and check us out. We are doing this every single week live on twitch.tv every single Monday through Friday. Please come check us out. Subscribe to our YouTube page here and our sister pages. And if you're looking to support the channel, you know where to find it. Thank you so much and have a fantastic rest of your day.